What's up, guys? So I've been having some issues here with my stream, and I do apologize. But I was basically going through a deck tech, and it just kind of cut out on me. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay. Don't know if the connection's gonna hold true. I'm hoping that it does. I'm watching it. Okay. So, 4 Fragment Reality, 4 3 Steps Ahead, 4 Fateful Absence, 3 Reprieve, 3 Snapcaster Mage, 3 Divine Purge, 1 Subtle, 3 Memory Deluge, 2 Supreme Verdict, 3 Doomscar, 2 Devastating Mastery, and 2 Shark Typhoon. And so with blue-white, of course, Control is my favorite deck to run in any format. And so as soon as I had the idea that I would go ahead and jump into Historic today, been getting kind of just, I wouldn't say burnout, but it's, I want to switch it up a little bit. And of course, if you read my About section in either YouTube or Kick, I do play different formats as well. So this deck list is probably going to change quite a bit, I would say, over time, just because I don't really know what to expect. Since Bloomburrow, I haven't really played in Historic, but this is essentially what I was running before Bloomburrow came in, so this is kind of another test run, trial, I guess you could say, of, is blue-white Control still good enough, I guess, after the recent rotation. And of course, with the introduction of Bloomburrow, I'm kind of wanting to see how that has affected the Historic meta. So, Fragment Reality, exile target non-token artifact or creature. Of course, we could be running March of Otherworldly Light, but this doesn't require us to discard a card or spend any additional mana in order to exile a non-token artifact, creature, or enchantment an opponent controls. That player does put a random creature card with lesser mana value from their library onto the battlefield tapped, but of course there are those decks that aren't running creatures, so Fragment Reality is in those situations, in those specific situations, even with running against all the aggro that's out there, Fragment Reality is really awesome, especially when a Shieldred hits the field. Those moments really make me happy when I have a Fragment Reality in hand and can just get rid of it before I go into my draw step. 3 Steps Ahead, of course, we need a solid counter. The best counter draw spell that around, of course, is Cryptic Command, and 3 Steps Ahead, allowing us to counter and draw. It might not be a Cryptic Command, but it's pretty close. Surgical Extraction, you can pay 2 life. You can either pay a black mana or pay 2 life. And choose target card in a graveyard other than a basic land card. Search its owner's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name as that card and exile them. Then that player shuffles. I would like to run more than one. It's just hard to find the room. Fateful Absence, 4 of. I want to be able to destroy creatures and planeswalkers for 1 and a white. I don't want to play Get Lost. There is Path to Exile, but of course that's just creatures, and you are kind of gifting your opponent a land out of that deal. But I wanted something that dealt with planeswalkers, with Lilianas, and those types of things, and I don't think that Get Lost, yeah, it does destroy an enchantment as well, but I don't think that Get Lost is our best friend, especially when they go to crack one of the map tokens, and they get the land off the top, and then they can pump a creature, once they do find that non-land card on top of their deck. So 4 copies of Fateful Absence. They do get the guaranteed draw of the clue, but not always. Reprieve. Return target spell to its owner's hand. Draw a card. This is one of my favorite cards. It essentially, you know, because as a control deck, you're trying to buy yourself some time. And Reprieve definitely helps us set up, you know, for Divine Purges, Doomscar, or, you know, and this helps us get further into the game a little bit. So it's like a stall until we get our mana set up for some bigger spells. Snapcaster Mage, I keep going back and forth on whether or not I want 3, 2, 1, none. But for now we got 3. So 1 in a blue is a creature, human wizard, Harry Potter. Kind of reminds me of Harry Potter. So he's a 2/1 with flash. Whenever he enters, target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback. So flashback means you may cast a card from your graveyard, copies in there. Divine Purge, 1 and 2 white. Exile all artifacts and creatures with mana value 3 or less. They perpetually gain this permanent costs 2. This spell costs 2 more to cast, and this permanent enters tapped for as long as each of them remain exiled. Its owner may play it. So this is really huge, especially against those goblin decks and elves decks. There's a lot of aggro going on throughout Historic as well. You still have mono red, and mono green is just elves is able to replace their board state immediately after a sweep. So the more sweepers, the better against them. Settle the Wreckage. I like to, you know, it kind of gets our opponent off guard a little bit. Of course, like I think they've learned to kind of expect Settle the Wreckage. But I mean, we're running 2, and I think after the 1, if they see it 1 time, they're kind of like, okay, and then they kind of play around this card. So we have the 1 copy in there for now. Memory Deluge. Of course, like in Historic, there's not really a whole lot of blue-eye control decks playing Memory Deluge. So I want the ability to be able to draw some cards, and there, of course, like you can draw with Reprieve, you can draw with Teferis and things. Of course, we don't have Teferi as a win condition in here as of right now. But I just really wanted to run Memory Deluge. It kind of reminds me of like a dig through time. Supreme Verdict, 1, 2 white and a blue. This spell can't be countered, destroy all creatures. That kind of speaks for itself. Doomscar, the coolest thing about Doomscar is that turn 2 you can foretell this card, and then turn 3 you can go ahead and destroy all creatures. So it's kind of like in standard, you know, you're able to run temporary lockdown. There's nothing temporary about this one though. It destroys them, gets them off the field. So between like Divine Purge and Doomscar, it's just really nice to have a total of 6 spells at that 3 mana mark that gets rid of things that are bothering us on the field. Devastating Mastery destroys all non-land permanents, but I know the mana cost is kind of insane. 2 and 4 white. But the cool part is that you may pay 2 and 2 white rather than pay the spell's mana cost, and if the 4 cost was paid, if the 4 cost was paid, an opponent chooses up to 2 non-land permanents they control and returns them to their owner's hand and destroy all non-land permanents. Shark Typhoon is the win condition, one of the win conditions, should I say. 5 and a blue. Enchantment, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying, where X is that spell's mana value. But it also has cycling. X 1 and a blue. When you cycle Shark Typhoon, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying. And generally, if you can, get a couple of non-creature spells cast and trigger this thing a couple of times, especially with something like Doomscar, Supreme Verdict, or a Devastating Mastery. I mean, it does. Devastating Mastery knocks all this out. But at least you get a pretty token before it dies. So, but again, Devastating Mastery is specifically for those situations where we're getting overrun, and typically we'll try to make sure that we're in a good spot before we cast Shark Typhoon. And of course, we do have some other win conditions over here in our lands, just in case, the plan with Snapcaster Mage or Shark Typhoon doesn't work out as far as dealing some damage to our opponent, or if our opponent just doesn't quit first, we do have 3 Hollow the Storm Giants over here. If you control 2 or more other lands, Hollow Storm Giants enters tapped. It does tap for a blue mana, 5 and a blue on its ability down at the bottom. Until end of turn, Hollow Storm Giants becomes a 7/7 blue giant creature with Ward 3, and it's still a land. So I think can definitely cause an issue really fast, and we are running 3 of them, as well as 2 Restless Anchorage, which is just another way to be able to do some damage to our opponent. Until end of turn, it becomes a 2/3 white and blue bird creature token flying is still a land. Whenever Anchorage attacks, create a map token. So altogether, we can, get some damage in with Snapcaster Mage. We have Shark Typhoon. We also have ways of getting damage in with Hollow Storm Giants, as well as a couple of Anchorage. And I was actually thinking about throwing Jason here, because I just feel like that would it might be a little bit better. I know there's a lot of blue-eye control decks in Historic right now running like somewhere between like 2 and 4 copies of Callum. We do have a couple copies of Callum. Again, I want to kind of just play around with this version, just see what we've got out there. We are ranked Platinum Tier 2 at the current moment. So let's go ahead and see what the meta is like and see if we can win a couple of games. I have been having some issues with my connection. I hope that it's not too bad coming through for you guys. I hope it's coming through okay. I've been having trouble with OBS all day. I don't really understand it. I've checked my internet connection, checked my internet speeds. Everything's running smooth. I've got 2 Wi-Fi extenders going. Just for some extra security. And it's definitely not my internet. I don't know what exactly is going on, but OBS is definitely having some troubles today, it seems like. Alright, so Fateful Absence, Reprieve, Doomscar, and Snapcaster, a few lands, as well as a Field of Ruin. I think that this is a pretty solid keep, so let's go ahead and keep, and I'll jump up. Gotta love the music on this particular battleground, I guess you could say. Alright, so what is this? Alright, so Valakut Awakening, put any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of your library, then draw that many cards +1. So it's one of the 2-sided lands, so they chose to play it as a land. Those are very valuable, obviously, giving you that option. So let's go ahead and start off with the Plains. Then we can play the Glacial Fortress. It'll come into play untapped, since we have a basic. Wren's Resolve. Yep. Okay, they do have Wish in hand. That's not very good news for us. I think we'll just leave our mana open. You know what? Let's just go ahead and foretell this. I really do feel like we should probably keep our mana open. Because who knows what they're going to wish for. Okay, again with Wren's Resolve. It's a very good card. Exile the top 2 cards of your deck. Until the end of your turn, you may play those cards. Okay. So we do have the Reprieve. Looking for another blue source as well. Strike it rich, create a treasure token, flashback 3. Red spells you cast cost 2 less. Cost 1 less. My fault. Red spells you cast cost 1 less. I feel like I said 2 less. It costs 2. Alright. Let's let it resolve. Okay. Let's go ahead and bounce this. There we go. Blue source. Very nice. Song of Creation. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Whenever you cast a spell, draw 2 cards. At the beginning of your end step, discard your hand. Doesn't sound very fun. I mean, I guess as long as you are... Because whenever you cast a spell, you're drawing 2 cards, and you're discarding your hand. Okay, got a storytelling. So, let's go ahead and take 2 damage, play this untapped and pass. Dogie. Major Doge. Burgie. Okay, so they have the mana open to be able to play this. We can get rid of this guy, right? Whenever you cast a spell, add red until a turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Creatures you control can boast twice during each of your turns rather than only once. Okay. So let this one come in. Runaway Steamkin. Okay, sure. Yep. So Mox Amber, add 1 mana of any color among legendary creatures and planeswalkers you control. And Song of Creation. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of this thing. They're trying to dump their hand, and they need a way to regroup. So we definitely want to try to take that ability out of the way. Okay, Reckless Barbarian, land, strike it rich, and then whatever else they got right there. So we do have the plains to play another fortress. Yeah, let's just go ahead and sweep the board here. And then pass. Alright. Reckless Barbarian add 2. No, probably no. Don't really want to take it out just yet. I don't want to, because obviously I don't want them to draw a card. Let's see. So sacrifice Reckless Barbarian, add 2 mana. Red spells cost 1 less from Ruby Medallion. They also have an additional mana here. They have a treasure token here, so they need a lot of mana for something. Probably gonna burn us out, I would assume, or try to. I think we could get the Shark Typhoon down. I don't know. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's the right play yet. Let's just go ahead and do it. So he tapped out for Shark Typhoon. Kind of makes me a little bit nervous, to be honest. Okay, yeah, because they just keep drawing cards over and over again. Here's another Wish. Another Ruby Medallion. Strike it rich. So they need all the mana, because I'm sure they're going to burn us out. Or at least, like I said, at least try to. Some kind of red spell with Excellence cost. And we're going to have to be ready. I'm actually glad we have Snapcaster Mage in hand currently. Okay. They have everything. Strike it rich. Past in Flames. Ren's Resolve. Add 2 mana. 2 more cards. They can cast Wish for 1. Okay, draw a couple more. So that it's got to be Storm. I'm kind of excited to see what happens here. I'm almost rooting for our opponent at this point. So the only other mana that they have is Mox Amber? Okay. So Past in Flames, each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end turn, flashback cost equal to its mana cost. They have Wish. They have a bunch of things over here that don't really matter, but it seems like it's some kind of Storm deck. Okay. We could Divine Purge on all this stuff over here and get a token. Well, not a token. I'm used to the standard. Divine Purge and knock all that stuff out. Okay, sure. Red spells cost 1 less. At least this it'll slow them down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, put any number of cards on the bottom and then draw that many cards plus 1. Here we go with Burgie again. I wonder if they're just going to draw through their entire deck. Yeah, I mean, it's possible at this point. Alright, so Burgie's adding some mana here. We'll take our opportunity to go ahead and take him out. Okay, so 2 red mana in the mana pool right now. 3 treasures. Played another Wish. We've got... These all cost quite a bit. Okay, so Tendrils with Storm. Yep. I think that pretty much does it, doesn't it? I kind of figured it was going to be a Storm spell. Congratulations, opponent. that was, I will say, that was impressive. I'll give it to you. I don't mind giving you props. I mean, you know, that was pretty good. I think you should have went ahead and when priority passed to me the first time when they put the Burge in play, should have probably taken my opportunity to go ahead and take it out. So that was pretty interesting. Of course, like, I've seen so many Storm decks in the past, and there for a while, Tendrils of Agony, maybe it was just Legacy that it was banned in, but it was banned for a long time, and I could have sworn that it was banned in Modern, aka, I guess you could say, Historic, but glad to see that it's back and people are having fun with it. That kind of makes me want to run Storm myself. I used to run Storm with Grape Shot back in the day. It's definitely a fun deck. That was just, you know, drawing a ton of cards and adding a bunch of mana. Had a couple of creatures that added some mana as well. And once you get the ball rolling, you know, you get up to like 10 spells cast, play a Tendrils of Agony that does 2 damage to you, and they gain 2 life, and it has Storm, so it copies itself on the stack, and yeah, drain you from 20 to nothing. It's pretty good. So again, guys, I just wanted to say, like, for right now, and of course, like, over that match, it's been, OBS has been doing pretty good. The connection's been doing really well. Again, like, pretty sure it's just something going on with OBS today. I've tried to get on here and stream multiple different times. Haven't really had a whole lot of luck until now. And it was, of course, like, lagging on me in the beginning. But it's kind of like smoothed itself out. So hopefully that continues. And it doesn't look like we have anybody else to play, unfortunately. It is, well, you know what? Let's cancel, and let's see if we can jump back in again. Alright. Historic ranked. Let's go. We might have ran out of opponents. That would be terrible already. So while we wait, I'm gonna hydrate, as one of my favorite Facebook would say. Well, apparently nobody is gonna jump on. Kinda sad. I was looking forward to playing some Historic today, and you can't really do that if you don't have an opponent that's willing to play against you, huh? We might just have to jump into a different format. Alright. So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just go ahead and jump into a different format. Okay. Let's try. Let's see if we have anybody that's currently playing some Standard. And we'll just go ahead and jump into some Blue-White Control Standard. Because why not? Oh, it looks like we have a taker. Potentially. Sorry that it's taken so long. Of course, it's not my fault that we don't have anybody to play in Historic. So I just figured, why not just jump in and play a couple of standard games, and well, maybe we'll go back and forth. The cool thing about like playing standard ranked is it doesn't really matter like what format you jump into. You're at the same rank regardless of what format you're playing. So if you get up to Diamond and Standard, you're also at Diamond in any other format you choose to play, which can be a good or a bad thing, just depending. So it says we're entering a match. I thought we were going to, but I guess we're gonna have to cancel out of this. And I don't know what exactly has been going on with just, I guess, a little bit of everything lately. OBS is kind of acting up. Arenas, this is really strange. We might actually have to exit Arena and come back in. So just bear with me, guys. Okay, we're back. Let's see if that helped. I know like there sometimes, you have to disconnect, especially like if it's, that was one time, sure, but a couple of times, especially like even trying to run standard, of course that told me that there is something going on with Arena. So we're gonna get back into Historic ranked and see if we can find an opponent. There we go. Up, 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 and away! So Reprieve, Counterspell, Fragment Reality, a few lands, looks pretty good to me. They do have Luris of the Dream Den, 1, 2 white or 2 black. You can really pay for it however you would want to when it comes to those half and half mana symbols. Companion, each permanent card in your starting deck has mana value 2 or less. Lifelink, once during each of your turns you may cast a permanent spell with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard. So we're definitely going to have to be careful with Luris. Start off with probably Deserted Beach. All of Storm Giants is going to come into play untapped. I do remember playing against this deck. Not really a big fan of this guy in particular. So whenever another creature you control enters, you gain a life and you get an energy. Whenever you attack, you may pay 4 energy, and when you do, put 2 +1/+1 counters and a flying counter on target attacking creature. It becomes an angel in addition to its other types. We'll go ahead and pass a turn. Yep. Unstable Amulet, when it enters, you get 2 energy. You can also pay 2 energy, exile the top card of your library. You may play it until you exile another card with Unstable Amulet. Bombardment. Okay. One of the reasons why I love Fragment Reality, right there. Okay, so we have enough to be able to counter some spells. We got our 2 blue sources. Okay, so Soul Warden. Sure, why not? Another unstable amulet. Pay 2, exile top card of your library. Might as well get rid of one of them, right? Okay. Let's pass a turn. So we're holding up Reprieve, which is probably what we're gonna do. Yep. Another one. There we go. Try to get to a little bit of land here. Of course, we could use a couple of land. That'd be really nice. Alright, pass a turn again. They're fine on 2 or 3 lands because, you know, obviously everything in their deck, that's what it costs. So here we go again. Bombardment, sacrifice a creature, deals 1 damage to any target. I think I just want to counter this one. Okay. Ocelot Pride. First Strike, Lifelink, and Ascend. Okay. We'll pass a turn here. It would be nice if we could find one of our sweepers, obviously. Soul Warden, yep, gain a life. Another Guide of Souls. Okay. We may just need to... Yep. We're gonna have to draw a couple of cards off the 3 steps ahead for sure. Okay. So, Fateful Absence isn't really gonna do much for us anyways. With the current board state. So they're attacking for 6, and then they can also use Goblin Bombardment to sacrifice all 6 of them and do a damage per creature. So they could realistically do 12 damage next turn. Okay. Gonna have to pass the turn. So they attack for 6, and then 6 more damage there. We can use Fragment Reality to get rid of the bombardment. Okay, so resolve that. Would be nice to have a little bit more land. Let's go ahead and take this out of here. Okay, so is your plan to sacrifice all of their creatures? Okay. So now we have an opportunity. Okay, they have a Lightning Helix. Great. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they, Johnny? So 8, get 3 more damage. Could cast Reprieve. The funny thing is that we're running so many sweepers, and we haven't seen any of them. Okay, so just in case we do find one, we'll take, doesn't matter, but the same thing. Oh, well, never mind. For some reason I thought it was untapped. And here's a sweeper. Of course we don't have the other land that we need. So we are, unfortunately, done with this game. And that's just it, you know? It doesn't really matter how many sweepers you run. Just can't seem to get there. And that's another reason why I was, so I didn't have a win condition, like a solid win condition in the deck. I was depending on my lands and Snapcaster Mage to kind of, you know, put the pressure on for me, and I have won a game just attacking in with Snapcaster Mage, as silly as that might sound. But yeah, this is a much better hand already. We're gonna keep this. We're on the draw as well. This seems very aggro to me. But I was running more sweepers as opposed to any other type of win condition. Karn, the Great Creator. Would have been really good if I had, you know, had another land in play.
Better to fight alongside, friend. Innovation is our advantage.
Okay, yep. Synthesizer, very nice. Well, that's a good draw. Make sure we've got our blue source for our counter spell. Again, he's gonna find another synthesizer, right?
We must.
What else are you grabbing there? Mijor Karn. Okay, Worm Coil. Definitely don't want this. Alright. So, we're one land away. So I feel like Worm Coil Engine's definitely heading our way this turn. It's a one target non-creature artifact. Okay. Yep.
People lie. My machines don't.
Chalice of the Void. So X equals 3. Because they don't want us to counter any more spells. Let's go ahead and Memory Deluge. Okay. Surgical Extraction is going to be huge in this matchup. Shark Typhoon, we're still a couple of lands away from hitting that. We got a couple of lands in hand. I don't want the Fragment Reality. And then probably Extraction. Alright. So they have the 6 lands they need for Worm Coil. Got 5 lands. We get rid of the synthesizer. This is also going to be a pain, but we can take that out with Fragment. Just go ahead and pass a turn here. They're going to have to plus Karn unless they just want to destroy him. But here's Worm Coil. We could do the Snapcaster Mage. We could fragment reality this thing too. What do we got in our graveyard? So we can't play the 3 steps ahead because of this. If we had have taken it out last turn, it wouldn't have mattered because we wouldn't have had enough to play 3 steps ahead. Though, yep, Death Touch, Lifelink. Of course, we can Supreme Verdict on the next turn as well.
I welcome all assistance.
Okay. So we could do this. And then Snapcaster. And take that out? I'm just wondering. Your go. Yep, I know it's my go. Thanks. Okay, so let's go ahead and deluge here. So we definitely want this. We have another land. Wouldn't hurt to have another one. I still feel like this is going to be beneficial too. So now we can get rid of Karn.
This cannot be the death of hope.
Okay. Then we could surgical extraction the Karn. I feel like they would have more. I don't know if I should take the synthesizer or the Karn. I think I should probably take the synthesizer. So they have another Karn in hand. So I probably should have taken him. Or is that all they had? Okay. And that's another reason why I really want more surgical extraction in the deck. It is just such a powerful card. Just paying a couple of life in any deck that you run and being able to take whatever you want. Okay, so X equals 1. Okay, well we can't counter it anyways. X equals 1. Yep. We're gonna have to cast Devastating Mastery. Okay, yep, Karn hits the field.
I battle with a my legacy will be one of I must redouble my
Reveal a card. So Crypt. Okay. Yep, they're gonna use Crypt and they're gonna take out Surgical Extraction. No problemo. They were really worried about that extraction. Okay. We need another white in order to cast Devastating Mastery and destroy everything. And unfortunately, they're running nothing but basics, and this one's indestructible. I wonder if it would still work. Probably not. We really need the other lands. We could have also activated Anchorage.
My preparations are nearly complete.
Of course, I didn't see. Okay, Spyglass. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless your mana abilities. Got Lightning Helix, Rise and Shine. Target non-creature artifact you control becomes a 0/0 artifact creature. Put 4+1/+1 counters on each artifact that became a creature this way. Overload for 6. Then they have 2 copies of Deafening Clarion, 1 red and a white. Sorcery, choose 1 or both. Deafening Clarion deals 3 damage to each creature. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. Restless Anchorage. Okay. So this one's also indestructible. I just wonder if it would work anyways. Or is it just a waste of a land? Because I really don't remember if it actually still allows me to search for a land. This could be really terrible. There we go. I was hoping it would still work. Okay. So my turn. Might as well go with this. There we go.
Closes in from all
Clear
sides.
the board out. Chalice, huge. Well, let's see. So we'll take 1 out. And then Snapcaster Mage. Take out another one. All of Storm Giants. And pass the turn. Okay. 3 damage to each creature, so they're going to be doing... Okay. So 4/1. They probably have another burn spell in hand. So pass. That's the thing, though. We have to wait until the next turn to mage because we need the other... Nope. Okay. So pass the turn here. Okay, Tezzeret. Definitely have to send that back to their hands. Activate this, and hopefully it lives to be able to block. Exile this. Okay. Pass the turn. Tezzeret again. Sure, why not?
Once my partner is gone, I need results. Keep working.
We could really, it'd be really nice to be able to draw a couple of cards here. Okay, so Supreme Verdict in the grave. Chalice again for 1. Okay. So I guess we'll have to activate and swing into Tezzeret. Don't really have a choice on that one. There it goes.
Your victory doesn't change my future.
So this one's pretty intense, pretty epic. We were able to survive. Let's see what else they do here. I'm just surprised that we've actually stayed alive this long. Sure, we'll take action. So we could get rid of Chalice, but it doesn't really matter at the moment. Artifacts you control become artifact creatures. Okay, so maybe it does. Artifacts you control become artifact creatures with base power of 5/5. Okay. Let's do this. Pass. So they have an indestructible land again. Chalice for 1. Okay, so this is going to become a 5/5 on the following turn. Yep. So we could have did that a little bit differently, but man. Okay. Unfortunately, they have won. And right here, settle the wreckage. That would have been perfect. Oh. Okay, well that was an awesome game. It really was. I had a lot of fun with that one. That was pretty exciting. And I do feel like we're gonna have to go back into our deck and just make a couple of changes here. I do want another Settle the Wreckage. Good drop. Typhoon. The Fragment Reality was huge in that game. So definitely proud of that card. Couldn't be more proud. 3 steps ahead, of course. If we could get to it a little bit sooner. And we weren't able to draw as much as I would have liked to that game. Snapcaster Mage did really good in that matchup, especially being able to grab the Fragment Realities back and taking out the creatures one by one. Of course, had we have had Settle the Wreckage, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. So let's see. In order to make room, we could just leave it at 1 Shark Typhoon. We're kind of at a point to where we're just going to rely on our lands to win anyways. And with that being said, we only have the 1 farmland. We could go up in Anchorage. We went down on this one too and just used Snapcaster Mage. Could also switch that out for a Teferi. But I kind of want another Memory Deluge, to be honest. Again, it's just so hard to find the room. Doomscar and Divine Purge are both really good. And it's nice to have both of those options, especially, you know, turn 3 is pretty crucial. Faithful Absence. I just don't know where to cut, honestly. Snapcaster Mage just, you know, it really did it almost saved the entire game for us. Just being able to return these fragment realities for those indestructible lands that we were up against. This is so tough. Because I really want to have more win conditions, but the way that the meta is set up, it just isn't really allowing us to be able to do that. Some of these decks are just so overbearing that we need more control than anything else. So maybe we just throw in a 4th Memory Deluge, be at 61 cards, and call it. Let's go ahead and jump into another game. I know that I did drop some frames there for a little while, so I'm sure it was extremely extremely horrible to watch through that portion of the video, but hopefully I'll have to watch it back myself just to see how good or bad it was. Again, guys, I don't know what's going on with the connection. I still feel like I've checked everything, and I haven't really had this issue until tonight. I mean, I have had it in the past, but not quite this bad until tonight. And my internet connection shows strong. My speed, everything, I've checked all the bit rate, the upload, I mean everything. Output, you know, I've checked everything over, and don't know exactly what else to do at this point. Alright, this looks okay. At least we're able to draw a couple of cards off of Reprieve. Looting. Very nice. Alright, so is this... Yeah, okay. Of course. 10 mana enchantment, you may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. So they use Faithless Looting, drop these, discard both of those into the graveyard, and then, of course, like, they're gonna cheat that card onto the field very soon. At least they're gonna try. Yeah. Alright, so what do we got in the grave now? Okay. Might as well just pay the 2 life for this. And we'll just keep the 2 mana up for Reprieve. Shifting Woodland. Omniscience. My goodness. Okay. So, I was kind of hoping we're dead next turn, for sure. Yep. And you think standard is toxic. Being able to win on turn 3, turn 4, you know, I mean, especially when you're able to cheat things in like that. And to me, that's not really, I could just as easily run a deck like that. I feel like it's so cheap, you know. Alright, brought 2. So we have things. Let's see if things is good enough. Most likely not. Okay, well, we definitely don't like that. Our opponent, he is a thinking man. He's sure to take his time. So we'll take a water break. I really don't think he's going to let the timer run out. I think he's just taking as much time as he can to try to annoy me so that I quit, but you know, he is the one with the timer fuse draining. My turn. Okay. I think we're gonna get a free win here after all, guys. Nothing wrong with a free win. I'd rather not have a free win. I would like him to be able to jump in here, but I guess he kept a one-lander for some reason. This level is not very interactive. The leaves don't sound like leaves. There we go. Let's see. Let's go with this one. That is one of the biggest things about playing different formats, is just trying to keep everything like straight, you know, like knowing what's what. That sounded really bad. But just really like keeping all the card names and abilities and everything else is like, sometimes like I see the 3 steps ahead in my hand, or I'll see Memory Deluge and it just takes me to standard, you know. I know that Memory Deluge just recently rotated out, but it still does that to me. Just like seeing the card just kind of takes me there. So it's funny. Our opponent, I guess, still hasn't drawn any lands. They played a Sage, we took it out, and they said, you know what? I'm not doing this. And of course, like when we were playing mono red and standard, you know, we would have like one creature in hand, and if they took it out, we were pretty much done. So it doesn't matter if you're running like 18, 19 creatures, 23, you know, it doesn't matter. You still can have those one creature hands. And luckily for us, like, well, luckily for me, I'm not a fan, and nor am I in the habit of keeping anything less than a 2-land hand. And generally when I keep a 2-lander, I have some reasonings behind it. Not always, but generally. Let's go ahead and jump into another one. I'm really enjoying these historic games, guys. Really am. It's been a minute since I've jumped into a historic game, just because I've spent so much time focusing on standard and you know, playtesting a bunch of different standard decks, which I kind of just wanted to take a break from standard, for one, because I just needed it, for two, because a lot of the decks I'm still that I would like to stream are in the process of being playtested and development. So figured I would go ahead and jump into some historic for multiple reasons. Just an overall breath of fresh air, to be honest. So this looks pretty okay. Bassmata 46. Okay, we could play the tapped land. I'd rather not, but yeah, we might as well play a plains, go ahead and get a couple lands down, then throw this thing in. And now we've got a Sentinel. Okay. We could also go ahead and get rid of the Sentinel. Creature cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyards. Yep, a little bit of Grafdigger's Cage. That's a good one. Oh, let's pass a turn. Ganjo. Soul Guide Lantern, sure. Okay. Yep, Cage, sure. Eventually we'll get to this and knock everything out. Are they gonna let it happen? Okay. I was kind of worried there for a minute that they had a response to it. Gotta love the music on this. It's just so relaxing. It's that elevator music. Okay, look at the top 4. Reveal an artifact. Let's go ahead and just return this thing. Draw a card. Really? Metallic Rebuke. Very nice. So, Improvise is your artifacts can help you cast a spell. Each artifact you tap pays for 1. So it's kind of like Convoke, but an artifact version. Okay. So which one are you going to grab this time? Oh, treasure vault. Sure. Might as well go ahead and get rid of... Yeah, sure. Soul God Lantern. Yep. Exile the card. No problem. And then we'll just fragment reality this guy. Get out of here. There we go. Could use a draw spell. That would be wonderful. Okay, Ornithopter, no problem. Affinity for artifacts. So it costs 2 to bring it in. If we reprieve, when it enters, they also draw 2 cards. Let's go ahead and do this, because they won't have the blue mana they need to play it again. And if we do this the following turn, okay, then they won't have it then either. So it'll cost 7. These are artifact lands. Drop it down so it actually costs 5, so it won't matter next turn, even if we do play the Purge. Okay, and that's... not really what we wanted to see. Let's go ahead and do one of these. Okay, we draw a card. You know, I didn't realize that it sent the lands back too. Of course, it doesn't say non-land permanent, and as much as I've played Divine Purge, I've never... I don't really recall it returning lands. Okay. So Living Weapon, equipped for 2. Artifact lands. What if we just go ahead and take this artifact land out? And then we can... because this gives +1/+1 for each artifact and enchantment you control. So, let's see. Let's pass the turn. I feel like we probably should hold on to Fateful Absence. So when it enters, they draw 2 cards. Sure. And we're probably gonna just Supreme Verdict on the following turn anyways. Just let this happen. Okay, and that's good too. We could really use a draw spell and maybe some lands. That would be extremely beneficial. Arena is not really being kind to us at the particular moment. Particularly kind. Particularly kind. We could get rid of all of these things if we had just gotten to our 6 mana. We'd be doing so much better. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to cast a Devastating Mastery for 4. So basically they get to pick 2. And then the other 2 will be destroyed. And they've got 5 total. So they can only choose 2 to keep. I know that's got to be a tough decision for them. Okay, they chose nothing. I guess they didn't understand how the card worked. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry, opponent.
Let us begin. There is great power in the things we make.
Okay, this is the wrong card. Oh, let's see. We could really use some lands. We could use a draw spell. I'm almost half tempted to put the Deuce in here. Set up our draws a little bit better. Might as well take Karn out. They got the counter spell in hand. So they, what was the counter spell they had? Yeah, Rebuke. It's a good one. Alright, and then I guess we'll just go ahead and foretell one of these things so that we have a sweeper that we can get to since we don't have any lands. We've got a 4/4. So they're most likely going to be attacking us for like 7. Oh, there's 5. Draw a couple of cards, no problem. Affinity for artifacts. Of course, like, that was when I got back, when I really got back into like playing tournaments and things like that. It was when Mirrodin first came in. All the affinity for artifacts of Mirror Piercer. What was the... I can't remember what the name of the little frog with affinity was. He was like 4 for a 2/2 with affinity for artifacts. Frogmite or something like that. But that's really when I started getting back into Magic a little bit heavier and going into tournament play. I loved affinity for artifacts. I don't know too many people that did enough, of course. So, let's see. We found our 5th land. We'll let it come into play tapped. Try to get rid of these guys. Hopefully they don't have the counter spell. I'm sure they do. They're looking at their cards like they do. Okay, there it is. Good game, sir. So Arena's not being very nice to us. I think after that game, it kind of... We have the 4th copy of Divine Purge. Do not have the 4th copy of Snapcaster Mage at the current moment. Reprieve. Another Reprieve could be nice. We didn't see any memory deluge that game. We barely saw any lands that game, and it would have been a completely different game had that have happened. Of course, like it would have been a no-brainer. We would have definitely had that game. I also like, you know, the work that Fateful Absence is doing really well. Fragment Reality is doing an amazing job. I love these how well they're doing. Extraction, again, like I would love to run a second copy of Extraction. Settle the Wreckage was another one that would have been pretty, it would have been great to see, we'll say that. But Divine Purge on a deck like that one, of course, they do have the one with Affinity that costs like 7, so this wouldn't have worked on that, but definitely keeping all the other artifacts, you know, at bay. I feel like a 4th one could be really good. I definitely want, and I want to keep more than just one Settle the Wreckage because I want to see it in the games for sure. We could go down a 3 steps ahead, and I know that also draws us a card. Go up to 4 there. This is insanely tough. Devastating Mastery, I mean, we could even afford to get a couple more in there, especially with having the 4 cost. And then if people aren't taking the time to actually read the card to see what it does, I mean, yeah, we'll take that all day. Good run. Well, no. I want to make sure we're seeing these. And I really want to see Reprieve in the beginning. Just to be able to draw through our deck a little bit more. Snapcaster Mage could be a 2 of. Of course, we're not running a whole lot of win conditions as it is. Okay, so maybe this is just ridiculously tough, guys, to find the room. I don't want to run 62 cards. But as it sits right now, we've got 26 land. Our average, so we're at 2.8 as far as our average goes for our mana curve here. There's not really a whole lot that, you know, I want to give up. I don't want to give up another win condition in Snapcaster Mage. And we continue to run 61 cards because I just cannot seem to streamline this thing. And that's how I am, you know, and Standard as well. It's just, anytime you're playing best of 1, I mean, there's a lot of decks and situations where it's just kind of like a no-brainer to put together a 60-card deck. And, you know, obviously you want to have, in control, especially permission-based control, you want to have an answer for everything. And in Historic, that can be a little bit more of an issue. So here's looting. You're gonna dump the Omniscience into the grave here. Interesting. So Smuggler Surprise. Okay. I guess we start off with this one. Zoragash. Is our opponent choose your name? Apparently. So reveal the top 4. Okay, a couple of Faithless Looting in the grave. They can also flash back. do we just want... I think we just want to play this one. And we're going to need to leave our mana open. So we're going to play their third mana this turn. As looting again. So let's just do this because it basically gets rid of it. Cool. Play our other blue source for our counter spell. So the other looting is what they're going to go for this turn. We'll get rid of that one too with a reprieve. Okay. This little guy. Sacrifice Haywire Might. Exile target non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. Let's see. So 4th land and pass. Hold up the counter spell for whatever they got planned for this turn. Alright. There we go. We got a draw spell now. Got our 5th land down. This game is going a lot better so far. That's good news. Let's see. Mill for put 2 creature cards milled this way into your hand and or land cards. Resolve. Okay. Omniscience is there. Ulamog is there. Alright, so they've got the big guy in their hand. Yep. So that was another way they could cheat this in. Becomes a copy of target permanent card in your graveyard until end of turn. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Discard planes probably. Good old Atraxa. Another one. And it appears to me that we're going to be seeing a lot of this deck. Just being able to cheaply get a bunch of things in play. Yep, let's just go ahead and get out of this game. Just absolutely ridiculous. Well, I'm glad people are having fun running that one. Okay, so then also, with that being the case, if people are having so much fun with this deck, how can we make it terrible for them to run? We need some more counter spells. That would be numero uno. We need more counter spells. Also, surgical extraction. I mean, gosh, if we had more of those, that'd be great. Something else, like especially in a best of 3 matchup, against that deck, like we would run Rest in Peace. So basically, causing all their cards that are going to the graveyard are being exiled instead. So since that deck is so popular, especially on this level, I wonder if we could run Rest in Peace. We could also run the counter spells, but they have different abilities that are allowing them to get the omniscience on the field, and then be able to cast the spells out of their hand for free. They have multiple different ways to do it. And I just feel like taking the, exiling Graveyard. Let's see if we have what other options. Exile all graveyards with Calamity's Wake. Players can't cast non-creature spells this turn. That would be kind of like an instant way to do it. I'm looking more so for like a permanent. And I guess Rest in Peace is kind of like the only one that would do what we're looking for, because essentially they're just throwing everything into the graveyard. So in a best of 3 matchup, this coming in out of the sideboard would be perfect up against this deck. They're just throwing things into the grave. Flanker, exile target player's graveyard. I mean, that could be pretty cool too, but I just feel like they're doing it so fast, like turn 3, turn 4, and of course, we don't have the ability. I don't think we have the luxury to run, 4 Rest in Peace. So we need it to happen pretty fast. And of course, like, Flanker does have Flash. But still, I don't know if he's fast enough. I mean, I guess he could be. I only have the 2 copies, so seeing him that early, we need something that's graveyard hate, though. Well, let's just look up Exile Graveyard. Again. We were just there. We should have stayed there. Let's see what else we've got. I mean, there is Farewell. Which Farewell... Devastating Mastery. So this one you can choose 1 or more. Exile all graveyards and Shaman's creatures artifacts. This one destroys all non-land permanents. Plus you can do it has the ability to pay 4 here. We talked about earlier. Very tough. Three steps ahead. I wonder, like, I mean, it's pretty obvious that we need counter spells. All right, let's go ahead and put a farewell in, but we need something a little bit earlier, and I guess having the one copy. I wonder if there's an artifact. Let's see. And to be honest, guys, I can't remember. So if you guys have any suggestions on a good way to get rid of, let's just go ahead and do this. I mean, lantern is pretty good. But all these options, here we go. But you have to sacrifice it. Okay, exile up to 2 cards from a single graveyard. And then you can also accrue it later. But I want something that's going to fit in with the rest of the deck, and I guess we could just run 1 Devastating Mastery and 1 Farewell. I'd rather not do just 1 Devastating Mastery though. And we need Divine Purge. We need everything. It might be one of those situations where we just run 3 copies of everything. And no more than 3. Just to be able to make some room. But of course, I really don't think we want to run more than 1 Farewell. Flanker would give us another option. Omniscience, that card, and just, we have to do something about it. We have to do something about it coming into play. We have to do something about Ulamog coming into play. We gotta do something about their graveyard in general. Okay. Really hate to cut down another Snapcaster Mage. Feel like we're just gonna have to. Maybe we will just throw a flanker in here. At least just 1 copy. Because again, like, I just don't know what other decks that we're gonna see in the meta. I mean, that's the strongest one that I've seen so far, obviously. And of course, like, there's always been those decks that have cheap ways of getting certain cards in, you know? And, I mean, it's happening in Standard right now with Squirming Emergence, and then they're throwing a bunch of lands into the graveyard, and then they're bringing Lumira back onto the battlefield, and then throwing all of their lands into play. So, you know, it's a little bit of everywhere. And what you gonna do? I do think that having a couple of copies wouldn't hurt. I just don't know where to put them. It would be nice to have that graveyard hate, though. And Rest in Peace is definitely that perfect puzzle piece for solving what we've been seeing here lately. So it may very well end up in the deck. Pretty cool sleeves. Again, if it wasn't for the fact that it was running a bat. Grow effects. Cool. Are you mono white? Yes, you are. Whenever Angel of Unity enters, or you cast a party spell, choose a party creature card in your hand. It perpetually gets +1/+1. Angel of Unity, okay. Well, we have the Fragment Reality, we have Reprieve in our hand, we've got a couple of sweepers. We could have went ahead and foretold the Doomscar. Wouldn't have been too shabby. But then you've got things like this. The Resplendent Angel. Just kind of buy us some time, you know? I mean, that's what we're trying to do. Could play Field of Ruin and take out the Cavern. And so they're going to play Resplendent again on the following turn. That would be nice. So that's just going to get Field of Ruin down. We don't have the counter spell in hand, but we eventually will. Sure. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and take out Cavern. You know, I was just thinking, it could also be an issue, like my issues that I've been having with my streams lately could also be coming from the fact that I just recently started playing Magic Arena through Steam. And I don't know if you guys have been having any issues with Steam, but that could also be it. I didn't even think about that. Because I was having issues opening it up for whatever reason, and so I kind of went into panic mode because I couldn't open Arena at all, and I went ahead and downloaded Steam, opened up an account, and started playing it through Steam, and I have had issues since I've done that, so that could be something. Well, aren't you fancy? How about we just take him out again? You got another one in hand? You probably do. Oh, Giada. Angel of Unity. Very cool. Okay, let's take all this out. And that's the thing, like, there's so many different power levels, you know, as you go up through historic games. And, okay, let's just get rid of that. And I just feel like right now we're having some issues with Arena. Like, I've already targeted... There we go. Okay, well, it's the opponent's turn. But there's just, like, little hiccups that we come across, you know, like as we're, like, trying to pass priority and things of that nature, or trying to target, you know, anything at all. It seems like it's kind of, it takes a stutter step. Jump into another game. So again, like, you know, everybody, you know, kind of complains that in standard, you know, it's kind of toxic and you basically see the same deck over and over and over again. But the thing is, in historic, you know, omniscience, you're going to see that quite a bit. Branch of will. I like it. Okay, hopefully this is an aggro deck. Arena kind of gave us a bunch of sweepers, so I'm hoping that we're not up against a control deck. That would be really terrible. Okay, Franch of Will. Are you going to play a land? Oh man. Yeah, exactly. I kind of felt like it was more of like an arena issue than it was anything else. I think I'm just gonna have to play it the original way that I was, just from the app itself, as opposed to Steam. For whatever reason, I just keep getting so many problems with the server. Opponent goes foist. Yes, keep 7. So weird, guys. Thought we kind of already did this. And here we go again. So omniscience in the graveyard. Everybody's going to be running this deck. Literally everybody. And did they have it? Yes, they did. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to have to do this. And luckily for us, that was the perfect draw. And you know, if they're going to be cheap, I'm glad it worked out that way, because I don't feel cheap about it whatsoever. We're taking this. Goodbye. Yeah, we could definitely use some more surgical extraction. I think that is going to be the way to get not only that, but also Ulamog. So Ulamog as well as Omniscience. We're gonna it would be nice just to get, you know, all of that out of here. Elish Norn Gran Cinnabite. That reminded me of Cinnabon. So Elish Norn Cinnabons. Ulamog, who has a ceaseless hunger for Cinnabons. Oh, that's a whole story, isn't it? Okay, see Chrome Coast. We have the reprieve for whatever they're gonna do on turn 3. Okay, well, let's just pass the turn. So maybe 4 surgical extraction is just better, as opposed to running like 2 to 3 copies of Rest in Peace. Another Faithless. Get that out of here. Okay. All right. I don't know, like, what kind of hope we actually have here in being able to pull off a win against this deck. I mean, we do also have Farewell. If we could ever get to 6 lands. We do have our 1 copy of Flanker. Sure, attack me for 0 again. No problemo. Okay. There it is. So, could go ahead and just get rid of the graveyard now. Is that what we want to do? They got a couple... They got a few more turns, actually, before they can get to Atraxa. We also have the Farewell here, but we need... This also has Flash, so let's just see what they do on their turn. Branch of Wheel. So it's awfully nice. I mean, this is a beauty to behold right here. After the few games that we got wrecked by this deck, I mean, it's pretty awesome. We still have some work to do. Sure. Flash and a flanker. Exile your graveyard. We might actually end up running more flanker and just take the Snapcaster Mage out. Because flanker is probably going to have a little bit more value. Okay. We could... So let's just do... We could foretell this. Still hold the mana up for reprieve. And go into attacks. Awesome. 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 We've actually done damage to an Omniscience deck. Looting again. Okay, sure. So looting, and then whenever they probably do that plus the flashback, and whenever they do the flashback, we'll cast Reprieve and get rid of it completely. Draw 2, yes. We understand. Attack me for 0 again. No? Okay. Alright, 5th land, still haven't seen a draw spell. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and attack in. See what they does. See what they does. Why is it that this Ornithopter just always looks like it's dying? Like, it'd be good. It's kind of like my connection. Just like it's good for so long, and it's hovering, and it's fine. And then it's just like, nah, I'm going down, bro, I'm going down. Okay. Is the opponent going to attack me for 0? I guess we'll find out. The suspense is eating me alive. So, Divine Purge again. We will attack again. Again. What do you say? A. 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Dear boy. Okay, so if we reprieve, it doesn't matter. They're just going to cast it again. We could Fateful Absence. They're getting so close to being able to cast this thing, which it doesn't really matter. The value that they're getting off of this comes from the casting of it. So maybe we just go ahead and kill Flanker ourselves. We kill off Flanker ourselves to get the clue token so that we can draw. We investigate. Because we are great detectives. We are very grand detective. Okay. So we'll try to crack the clue in response to them trying to get rid of it, or at the end of their turn. Oh, Ornithopter's having a hard go of it again. I'm here for you, buddy. Stay strong. Five whole mana. He hasn't drawn any lands either, so it's pretty even game here. We both have been kind of stuck on land. He just needs a couple more to be able to hit Atraxa and start getting some things going. Yes, attack me for 0. Okay, crack the clue. He's thinking about passing. Yep, and that's another way of sneaking in their creatures. 2 creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. If he has an Ulamog in hand, we're in trouble. Emrakul! Oh my gosh. What do you mean, madness cost? When you cast a spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls, flying protection from spells, protection from permanents that were cast this turn. When Emrakul, the world anew, leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all creatures you control. Madness pays 6. Goodness. So, protection from flying, protection from spells, protection from permanents. Oh my goodness. Protection from spells means what? I just absolutely cannot get rid of them. Okay, thank goodness. I was gonna say, like, oh, yay guys, we got our first win against Omniscience deck. Alright. Woo! I guess I should say the Omniscience deck. Luckily we didn't have to see Ulamog, because we would have gotten a couple of our lands taken away. And yeah, we wouldn't have been able. Of course, we did have the Doomscar over here. I seriously didn't think that we were gonna be able to get rid of this thing. I mean, come on. The world anew. Madness pays 6. Are you kidding me? Gosh. Okay. So it's no wonder that we're gonna I mean, we're definitely going to be seeing this deck quite a bit, and I don't know. I feel like running the another okay, cool. Another copy could be beneficial. So Flanker, another copy could be pretty beneficial. The Snapcaster Mage, I mean, obviously he has his time in the sun as well. Farewell on top of it, I mean, that's at least it gives us another answer for graveyard hate there. This is kind of doing everything that this is doing because, I mean, we're choosing one or more. The biggest difference is that this exiles, this destroys, and that we have to pay 6 for this. We have the option to pay 4 for this. But it doesn't get rid of graveyards. So enchantments, creatures, and artifacts, this does all of the above. Exiling them all, this doesn't do that. But this can come in the clutch. Of course, we have so many sweepers that I guess it doesn't really matter. Maybe we do 2 farewell and as opposed to the others. Of course, the other reason why I just thought about something else. Because the other reason why we like it so much so like Wrath of God was in here before because I didn't want the creatures to be able to be regenerated. Cleansing Nova is another great one. Destroy all creatures, and then but you also have the option to destroy all artifacts and enchantments, so it gives you the either or there for 5 mana. But the biggest thing for this is that destroying all non-land permanents, especially if they have like planeswalkers, what is her name? Kaya, hexproof planeswalker. So that's one thing that Farewell doesn't do. It doesn't get rid of any planeswalkers. Of course, we do have the 4 Fateful Absence, but just in case, you know, somebody's running, you know, a hexproof planeswalker that we are having a hard time with. Of course, those situations are going to be very narrow, but there are situations where this is really good. And then, of course, Hour of Revelation is pretty good. This spell costs 3 less to cast if there are 10 or more non-land permanents on the battlefield. Destroy all non-land permanents. That's pretty sweet. Because, I mean, just being able to pay the 3 white and destroy all non-land permanents is a little bit better than Devastating Mastery, but there has to be 10 permanents on the board. And they have to be non-land. So that's the biggest downside. And then, of course, like, this would give us another land. If we do have the 8 mana, then, you know, we could destroy on non-land permanents with this. Planetary Cleansing is also pretty decent, but again, like, we're paying 6 mana anyways, and we do have the ability to pay 4 with Devastating Mastery. But we are looking for more graveyard hate. So maybe we go another flanker. We take a Snapcaster Mage or 2 out. Maybe we do. And then just run 1 copy. Maybe 1 copy of Rest in Peace. I always think of No Rest for the Wicked whenever I think of Rest in Peace, just because Rest and the song's always playing in my head, like it lives rent-free up there, as they say. So maybe just 1 Rest in Peace, a couple of Farewell, a couple of Flanker. Because this is kind of like, you know, the way the meta is kind of shaping shaping. I mean, it's kind of forcing us to go this route. Let's jump into another game. And I do apologize for not being so energetic today. It's been kind of more of like a frustrating day, kind of annoying just overall. And it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and as soon as I'm done with this, I am going to be passed out. But I just thought it would be fun to, you know, try to jump on here and do a little bit of historic. And of course, at this time of the morning, it seems like everything's running pretty smooth. Alright, we have Fragment Reality, Fateful Absence Reprieve, a couple of draw spells. This is great looking. We could use another land, but we're on the draw. Start off with a deserted beach, of course, so we can guarantee untapped land on turn 2. So Sacred Foundry of Steam Vents. Nice. Sacrifice it unless it escaped. Escape for 4. 4 for a 6/6. Alright. Resolve. I wonder if we could just take it out. Or we exile it? There we go. That works too. That's why Fragment Reality is so good. And that's exactly why I'm running 4 copies of it. Because it just, all those clutch niche situations, you know, so many of them. Alright, so 3 land. We have all the memory deluge that we could ever ask for. Okay. Maybe they'll cast a spell here, maybe they won't. But I don't really want to discard anything. Please cast something so I can use one of my cards. That would be awesome. Especially this one. No? Not a fan? You don't want to play anything? Alright. I understand. Alright, a land. Hey, we'll take it. So I'm assuming that their control as well, kind of like permission based. I'm assuming that they have counter spells in hand. We don't need to be drawing cards at the current moment. We need to be drawing lands. I'm glad that we are. Because this guy, Mr. Swoosh, does not want to play anything at all. And the library. I'd love to go to this library in person. It'd be amazing. Okay. So. He probably has something with flash or counter spell. What do we discard over here? Wrath of the Skies. Cool. Destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with mana value less than or equal to the amount of energy paid this way. Cool, cool. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and pass a turn and get rid of Fateful. We have 2 other copies of it, and they're not really playing anything, so why not? Okay, fine. I'll bite. I'll go ahead and play a Deluge. That way we can just discard all of our cards. Choose target spell, then flip a coin. If you win the flip, gain control of that spell, and you may choose new targets for it. If you lose the flip, counter that spell. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. Hallowed Fountain. Think we just... Yeah, it can come into play tapped. No, let's pay the 2 life, actually. Okay. Because we can always try to deluge and reprieve. Okay. Second main for Mijoa Swoosh. Mijoa Swoosh. Actually, you know, I'm pretty sure that Michael Jordan, Mr. MJ, would be pretty upset to hear that you call yourself Swoosh. Memory Deluge. Reprieve of your own. Okay, let's reprieve your reprieve. Sweet. Okay. So it looks like... What do they got in the graveyard over here? Okay. Not much that we can go off of. Would be nice to have the counter spells in hand, so we'll take those. Okay, cool. Alright guys, so again, like I said, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. We're only going to go ahead and do one more game. We'll just jump right into our last one of the night. Get a little bit of water. Okay, so it would be great if we we had some better land. If we had some better lands. And we go first. So we're on the play with Terrible Land. Oh, this one is beautiful. I haven't played on this one in quite some time. This battleground is just awesome. All right, starting off with an anchorage. Oh, I see. Okay. So Sprawl. Whenever it's tapped for mana, it has 1. Okay, green. So it produces 2 mana. Alright. I really want to take it out with Fragment Reality, but I just don't know enough about the deck yet to make that call. But my gut is telling me that I should play Fragment Reality on the Sprawl. Okay, Pelucranos. So if I would have, they wouldn't have been able to get Pelucranos in play. Today, Junior, Fragment Reality on the Pelucranos. And we get a Fanatic of Ronas. So... I guess we'll play the Fountain. Pass a turn in case they have another Pelucranos in hand. So with Ferocious, you can tap and add 4 green mana. But you can only activate if you control a creature of power 4 or greater. Sure, we'll take 1 damage. My turn. There we go. Now we're doing a little bit better. So do they cast another big guy? Or do they just attack and pass the turn? Because I'm cool with that too. I'll take it. So then, don't have the counter spell. Could wait and Fateful Absence on their turn, but I don't want them to draw a card either.
I'll show you Drywalker something truly spectacular.
So untap target permanent with the -1 ability. Let's take it out.
Just gonna slip away.
Okay, pass a turn. Got a counter spell in hand. That's nice. Looking pretty good so far. Crack a clue, draw a card. Yes, of course. So do the attack for 1 again. Another fanatic, so we're definitely gonna Supreme Verdict these guys off the board. Just let that one happen, and then we'll Memory Deluge. Okay. Pass. Go ahead and attack in. Of course we could activate Anchorage, but we're not trying to do that. We're gonna go ahead and Memory Deluge instead. We're not too worried about the 1 damage anyways. The single uno amount of damage. Choose 2. I think I want these. That could be a little bit more annoying for them. Plus, it would allow us to... Let's see. Let's do this one for white. This one. Then this one. There we go. Now they gotta recast them for 4 mana apiece. I just thought that would be a little bit more annoying, you know. They still have 4 other cards in their hands. They could actually play both of these by tapping out. Oh, they have another one. Sure. Yeah, sure. Okay. So we need another land. Pass a turn. We need another land for Memory Deluge, so we can get a couple more cards in hand. Wanna hold up 3 steps ahead here. We still have the extraction. Just don't really have anything but Kiora to go off of with that. So go ahead and attack for 2. Is that the whole plan here, Peter Cal? What do you guys think? Let's counter draw. And then I guess I mean, it would be really fun to play Purge again. Flanker is also going to be pretty crucial to hold on to. Farewell, I mean, I guess let's get rid of Divine Purge. We'll stop playing around with these guys. Sure. Grab a couple of lands. Absolutely. And again, like on this level, you just never know what you're gonna see. I mean, obviously this deck is nowhere near the power level of what we've been up against here recently. I mean, I'm not complaining. Let's see. I think I'm gonna clear the board and then I'm gonna use this. So, Verdict. And then, so you may, to exile this card from your graveyard. So that might be a good one to get rid of. We'll just take this. I think we got them all. Storm the Festival is what they have in hand. Selected that one already. Okay, that's all 4. So they probably want to go ahead and try to cast... Oh, I see. Cavalier of Thorns. Sure. Alright. Cavalier of Thorns. And this one, they're going to be able to flashback. Could exile their graveyard with Flanker, and then have something to block. Then we can hold up 3 steps ahead for the other draw ability here. Depending on what they've drawn. I'm assuming that they're gonna cast Storm the Festival. We could not block, go down to 10, get 3 damage in. We got Nykthos over there. Doesn't look like they have any creature lands that we really need to be worried about. So no blocks. Okay. We want to cast Farewell. Let's go ahead and attack in. Then we'll just, because this has flashback and we don't want that to happen. Exile. But of course, we have this too. Let's just Man, I really don't want this to happen though. So look at the top 5 cards and put 2 permanent cards with mana value 5 or less or among them onto the battlefield. But we could always, after they cast it, like after the fact, go ahead and farewell the board. So you know what? Let's just pass. Let's change our strategy up a little bit. Okay, another Cavalier of Thorns. Reveal the top 5 cards. Put a land card from among them onto the battlefield. Okay, Lair of the Hydra. Okay, and then Storm the Festival. So I think we pay 2, tap, and get a land 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's just go ahead and do this now. So probably gonna want this one for the attack that's coming this turn. Then another counterspell would be pretty perfect. But it'd also be nice to draw some more cards. So look at the top 5. And then they get to pick 2. We also need to Field of Ruin this Hydra over here.
Together, we will prevail.
Okay. Put 3 counters on up to 1 target land.
Harness the elements.
Sure. So a hit for 5. I got rid of the land as it is. So we need to take out Nissa. Next turn, they can put 3 counters on up to 1 target non-creature land you control and untap it. And then it gets haste. Okay. And we want to take that out as soon as possible. So 3 counters, and they're going to be attacking for 10. So Settle the Wreckage, that's a good one. And then we'll also take, I guess, Fragment again. Okay, we'll just pass the turn here. Lands you control have indestructible on the ultimate of Nissa. Definitely gotta find. Okay, sure. Now we should be able to attack into the Nissa. Oh, and then we get the Fateful Absence. Of course! Of course! Don't you love how that works? Of course we do. Well then, we could just attack them for 10. But then we wouldn't have the other mana that we need. Let's see. Does this cost 6 to activate? Well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and activate this. And we'll attack into Nissa. Boom.
Forgive me.
I know we could have attacked them for 3. It's late, guys. It is late. We could have attacked them for 3 and just attacked 7 into Nissa. Or it's early, however you want to look at it. I'm dropping frames again. Sure. Cavalier of Thorns. No problemo. Put a land card. So another Nykthos. Gaia's Blessing. Huh. Sure. Alright, our turn. Well, we got plenty of draw ability here. We can go ahead and take this guy out. Okay, so exile this one. See what they get back. Okay, they got an Outcast, Trailblazer. So now let's just go ahead and take this out with the Fateful. Sure. Got him down to 14 now. Okay, so we have, this is everything we've exiled. So even though they were able to shuffle the graveyard back into their deck, I mean, shouldn't really matter too much. Yep. Okay, so our turn, we still have 34 cards in our deck. Still doing really well. Reprieve and Doomscar could be the play. We could also grab another body. Maybe these two. Oh, there's another Hall of Storm Giants. Pretty cool. Would be nice to have the spot removal too. If we swing in for 3, get them down to 11. With this guy. I would like to leave some things back to block, though. Could also Divine Purge. Let's go that route. And then let's pass. Okay. Old growth troll. Sure. Flash and flanker. Gain 2 life and scry 2. Not that one. Want that one on top for sure. Okay. So let's see. Could take that one out, but then they're going to be able to draw a card. Let's do that. Let's take this one out. Sacrifice the land. It becomes a 4/4. Okay, never mind. Should have exiled it instead. Let's pass the turn. Forgot that it did that. Becomes an enchantment. Yeah. Sacrifice it. Gets a 4/4 anyways. Gets to draw a card. Draw another one from the clue. So I just helped them out. Well, that was ridiculous. Okay, 5 cards in hand. Another troll. What else you got? Sprawl? Okay, sure. Storm the festival. Reprieve? Sure. They're down to 18 cards. I'm at 29. So they probably well, they should have another Gaia's Blessing, I would assume. Yeah, draw all those cards, sure. On to 13. Another Nykthos. So they're not done yet. They're gonna play a couple more things. Hopefully they can't give everything haste. That would be the biggest. +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Okay. Yep. Fiora.
Not to brag, but my friend's kind of a big deal.
Untap the Nykthos.
I love to make a splash.
Can you give everything haste? That is the question. Okay, storm the festival. Yep. The only thing that we can really do.
Until you have lived as a Phyrexia is spreading. We must act now.
So 3 counters on a land and untap it.
The land shall conquer
Okay.
you.
Tap it again. Okay. You may put up to 2 cards with mana value 5 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Okay. Draw more. Sure. Down to 2 cards. You gonna draw more? Troll. Okay. Yep, more +1/+1s. Draw all the cards. Okay. I was... Oh my gosh, what a crazy win, guys. What a crazy win. Alright. So OBS keeps showing me that I've dropped frames again by quite a bit. It's starting to pick back up. So I'll give it a second and take a water break. Hopefully it can pick back up in a minute. Okay, so I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for, following me along all these journeys that I've been taking with streaming. Of course, I am very new to streaming, which I'm sure that you guys can tell that. But I just wanted to say thank you again for all the support. Don't forget to like and subscribe, follow, share. It definitely helps out the channel. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. Can't wait to come back with some more historic play. But until then, I hope you guys have a good night, and we'll see you in the next one.